A small reflective piece of glass or a mirror like this up against your lens is the quickest way to add depth and dimension to any scene by introducing foreground. Having layers in your composition directs the viewer's attention where you want it and can also help hide certain parts of the frame that are maybe less flattering. Quick little tips like this are great to know and have in your back pocket. I just don't know if each of these deserve their own 10-minute video. So here's a whole bunch of techniques and trade secrets and hot takes that will absolutely level you up as a photographer. Buying V-flats is expensive. Going to your home hardware store and getting white insulation panels and painting one of the sides black, not expensive. There's always something purpose-built in photography, and sometimes it is worth it to splurge on, but some items do still remain better as DIY projects. Next time you're tethering, make sure your cables are tied down and secured. 10 seconds to make sure everything is nice and tidy with a couple clamps can be the difference between you shooting tomorrow or having to send in your camera or computer for repair because you broke the connector plate. Go buy a couple photo books as a productive way to build your creativity while financially involving yourself into bettering your craft. My favorite so far is this one by Dan Winters that shares a few words by a far better writer than I am and illustrates images by the master over his last 30 years. If you've ever heard that a picture is worth 1,000 words, then your portfolio should be a dissertation. Stay on topic and show your work. I know we're artists at heart, we just want to create for ourselves, but we will grow and get better as we share and collaborate. The next time you finish a set of images, before you send them off to your client, just go for a walk. Bring the dog. That way, it'll give you a chance to reset and look back at your images with a fresh set of eyes and maybe pick out some things that you didn't notice the first time. You should never break the fundamental rules of photography, unless you want to. Whether you have a natural eye for it or you've put in the work to understanding why certain images work, sometimes breaking the rules on purpose can really help you tell your story. There's always 3 things that I insist on bringing on every single shoot, and those would be a gray card so that I can make sure I get all my colors right and accurate. I always bring a working drive so that I can back up my SD cards and my computer. And also, I'll make sure I have a snack with me because if you're not low on blood sugar, your model probably will be. Don't let me prevent you from taking shortcuts in your photography. You don't need the latest and greatest despite how sexy it looks online. At the end of the day, it's the end result that counts, not how you got there. Don't stop yourself from creating because you don't have 8 lenses and 3 bodies. The world will benefit from seeing your art. So go shoot whatever you want to shoot, put it out there, maybe tag me on Instagram, and let's see it. If you have a hard time getting people to book with you at your current rates, try going the opposite direction and shoot as many free shoots as possible for everyone in your close vicinity. That way, you open up your work to their friends and friends of friends, and now your audience grows, so you get more eyes on your prize. Try to think of the end audience of the product you create. Is spending an extra hour retouching that corner at 300% really gonna make your good image a great one? Be wise. What's the tip to a perfect image? A collaboration of efforts from multiple people doing the fewest things possible. So don't try to do everything. Let go of that ego. People often ask me why my gear is half broken, like this light stand over here that doesn't shut anymore, or a lot of DIY stuff like here on this cart. And the true answer is, everything's expensive. I have an endless amount of gear items to pick up, purchase, little things, brackets, cables, adapters, whatever. There's always more things to buy. By saving $100 instead of buying a new stand, I can reappropriate that money elsewhere. If you occasionally have to do product photography, or you're in a tight space like I am, avoid buying big heavy tables or tool benches that demand a lot of floor space. Instead, maybe opt for a pair of Sawhorses to keep your space tidy, while offering a modular tabletop to fit any sized shoot. There's always photographers that insist, I need to charge more because I have all this expensive gear, but that's just not how it works. The equipment is a minimum barrier of entry that many other professions just don't have. And you can't expect other people to compensate you for the line of work that you chose, at least not sustainably. You have to do the market research and find the local rates that the prospective clients are willing to spend and put yourself in that bracket. Have a rate sheet ready to go and make it pretty. Better yet, talk to the local photographers in your area so that you can compare rates because a rising tide raises all boats. Everyone loves a grip head, or 2 grip heads, maybe even 3 spare grip heads. But the functionality of these is pretty much matched by just a bunch of A-clamps. These are so much cheaper and easier to replace if they break. There's a misconception that certain photographers are only good because of the gear they have or the connections they share. While that can help you as a photographer, most of us don't start there. It's a culmination of years, usually decades of work, all stepping stones. Sometimes 2 steps forward, 1 step back, but all of which have brought us to where we are. There will be a time in your photography business journey that you'll be told to niche down, or niche, I don't really care how you say it, but if it doesn't fit your lifestyle, if it doesn't fit your never-ending lust to shoot something new and exciting every day, then don't do it. There's plenty of world-renowned, established photographers that shoot a wide variety of commercial work that would rarely be tied down to a simplistic label. Shoot what makes you happy, and shoot what keeps the money rolling. Whenever someone wants to show off all their new photography kit, they always say, check out my new camera, but they never say, check out my new lighting. With a camera, you can capture what's already happening. With a flash, you can create something that doesn't exist. By combining these two, you can get even more than the sum of their parts. Do you really need that new piece of gear, or are you being victim of social proofing? Listen to your actual gut and only buy things that will align your portfolio with the expectation you have for it. The most popular tech or fan favorite lighting setup is not a cry for your attention. Follow and carve your own path at the same time. To the best of your ability, don't take anything personal. Nobody will ever understand or even care to know what you went through to create what you created. Even though as artists we should be less output-minded, the general public will mostly only see our output. So don't take it personal. Once you put it out there, you just have to let it go. I want to give a huge shout out to Internet Shaquille for inspiring me to make this video. I hope you guys got some tips and tricks out of it. I'll link his down below. It's on food and cooking. And I'll see you guys next week. Peace.